In this video, you're going to learn about a very controversial figure and the reason why he became so famous. And at the end, I'll also give you an inside view of what a fortune teller sees so you can get a better idea of how his prophecies actually work. And we're talking about Michel de Nostradin, and most known as Nostradamus. He was a French astrologer, physician, and self-proclaimed seer. Now, self-proclaimed seer, this is pretty important and you're gonna figure out why in a minute. He studied medicine and even published some tests on the subject, but it's his prophetic book, Les Prophéties, that made him famous. But what about his prophecies? Les Prophéties, published in 1555, is a collection of over 900 quatrains, which are 4-line poems, supposedly predicting the future. Interpretations of those may vary widely, and while some argue that this book foretold historical moments very accurately, like the Great Fire of London and even the rise of Napoleon, some other people debate that his prophecies are actually very vague and depend very much on subjective interpretations. So I'll give you two of his prophecies, two of the most famous ones, so you can see for yourself what people say about being open to interpretation and the ambiguous part of it. Let's start with the Great Fire of London. This is a citation from his actual book. The blood of the just will be demanded of London. Burnt by fire in the year 66, the ancient lady will fall from her high place, and many of the same sect will be killed. Now, here's what happened. A small fire started in a bakery in London in September the 2nd in 1666. So in the year 66, according to the Museum of London, 1/3 of London was destroyed and about 100,000 people were made homeless. Another one is the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. And I quote, "How nay Laura will be more of fire than of the blood. To swim in praise, the great one to flee to the confluence. He will refuse entry to the pious, the depraved ones and the durance will keep them imprisoned." Now, the three first words, Pau, Ney, and Laurent, may be considered the three towns in the southern France. But since they're written in caps, it could mean that it means something else, that there's more into it. So if we rearrange them, it spells Napoleon the King in French. More of fire than of the blood refers to Napoleon's non-noble lineage. And the refuse entry to the pious speaks of Popes Pius VI and VII, both imprisoned by Napoleon. There's another prediction that I do believe is worth mentioning, and this one is about the French Revolution. And I quote, "From the enslaved populace, songs, chants, and demands, while princes and lords are held captive in prisons, these will in the future, by headless idiots, be received as divine prayers." This is interesting because in 1789, the French people decided that they had enough of their government and revolted. Now, the peasants, enslaved populace, took control of Paris and forced their demands on royalty. The aristocracy, princes and lords, were taken from power and locked in the Bastille, and then beheaded at the guillotine, so headless idiots. This is a pretty interesting one. I'm a tarot specialist, and what I'm about to explain works with pretty much every other fortune-telling tool. Sometimes as a fortune teller, it may be the case that you will get a message about a subject that you don't fully grasp. I'll give you an example. Let's say that I've got a client that wants instructions regarding their professional endeavors, but I'm not familiar with the terminology, with the vocabulary, and with the technology that they work with. In such cases, I need to utilize my limited vocabulary to pass on the message to the person that is consulting with me so they understand what I'm saying to make the message come across. This is extremely common in fortune telling. Another important thing is that Nostradamus self-proclaimed to be a seer. So self-proclaiming to be a seer may have inducted him to using a vocabulary that seems mystical, makes him look like a sage, even though he was a scholar and he was someone that enjoyed studying. So this is something that may have added up to the situation where people find him ambiguous and very plausibly so. But in my experience as a fortune teller, everything he mentions can very well be true. It's just the way that he passed the message that made it difficult to understand. But some of his prophecies were actually spot on in my eyes. So to me, Nostradamus was not a fraud, and he was indeed someone that added a very good insight, not only about the world, but also about the times that they lived in. So definitely a legendary figure when it comes to fortune telling, to making prophecies. Stay tuned for more legendary figures that I will make videos about.